There you go. Just like we tell S types to watch out for these, red flags. Um, S types themselves can also have red flags. So we're gonna go over a bunch of different things, um, just to kind of get the conversation going. I'm open to any input y'all might have. So if you wanna say something, speak up. I'm always open for conversation. I do want crowd participation. So as I go, when I ask questions, if nobody wants to answer, I'll just pick somebody and we'll keep it moving like that. Um, so first, usually Sheba does the disclosure and all of that. So I'm going to try to do it the best that I can. But it's important that everybody on here is aware that we are not professionals and in no way are we giving professional advice. We are not psychiatrists, psychologists, or anything like that. We're not giving out professional advice. All we're doing is simply talking about the things that we've learned throughout our experiences and the things that we've seen, the things that work, the things that don't work, the things we need to look out for, all the pitfalls that may come, and basically trying to give a little bit of guidance based off of our own experiences in this. A lot of the people that you're going to hear talk tonight, they're people that have their own experiences in BDSM and in kink. So it's always good to get outside perspective because a lot of times we get so used to seeing things through our own lens that that becomes solely what we depend on. And a lot of times we can lead ourselves wrong based off of biases that we have from experiences we had in the past, or just emotions that we may be feeling at the time. Um, there's a bunch of different things that play into it. That's a whole nother conversation we can get into, nurture versus nature. Um, but yeah, we'll get into that another time. So the first thing that I want to talk about after I did the disclosure, if you're staying on this call, it's because you don't mind being on the call. We are recording it and we are going to air it on TDTV. So if you're on this call and you stay on the call, you're agreeing to be part of this project. If you speak up and you don't want yourself on the project, we will take some time and edit you out. I just need you to let me know in writing after this. And by letting me know, I mean go through Summer, Sheba, any one of the admins in the group, Talia. There's a bunch of us out there. I am Raymond, Queen. I know she's on the call. We just added Teresa. So any one of these people basically will be able to get a message to me about if you don't want to be on this show, and I will make sure I remove that. So that said, we're gonna go ahead and start moving ahead. Summer, are you on here?
Yes. Can you hear me?
All right. There you go. I can hear you now.
Okay. So good evening, everyone. Let's see. Where are we? I had to log out, log back in. It was blocking everything, camera, mics, everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, basically, I was just going to start off talking about the respect factor when it comes to meeting someone new, and not understanding their form of communication right off the bat. A lot of times, like I said earlier, we perceive things through our own lens, so we assume that people hear things the same way we do, and that's just not the case. Um, you can ask 100 people how many how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood,
Oh my
and
gosh.
everybody will say something different because the fact is everybody's perception is different. So you hear things differently. I might be saying one thing, but if I'm not fully communicating, you're only hearing what is gone again. Yeah, her internet is bad. You're only going to hear what your level of perception will allow you to. So it's important that during this process you keep communication open and make sure you explain your intent. if it's ever asked, you need to be able to make sure you explain your intent well.
Definitely. Can you hear me, Daddy?
There you go. All right.
I'm here. Oh, it ain't the internet tonight. It's Zoom.
Oh, okay.
So definitely we're gonna go ahead and dive in. So I guess we'll start with what first impressions. So basically, first impressions can either build trust or break it before it even starts.
Definitely.
And let's see. And basically, a factor of respect, which shows up in language and pacing and how you hold space for someone to feel safe. A wrong move, and you can create distrust that's hard to fix.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. And it's really getting back to the whole communication thing I was talking about. I'll give you an example of it. Um, I have a friend who was talking to an S type that he was interested in, and they're in a chat together, and the S type was about to post a picture that would essentially, taking part in the theme of the day, but um, she was about to post this picture, and he reached out and was like, "Hey, basically, if you're interested in, trying to pursue anything with me, then you probably shouldn't do that just yet." So what she heard was him trying to take command and trying to assume that, she was his and don't do this and don't do that. What he was doing was trying to convey to her that, there's certain standards that, I like to keep. So moving forward, this is how it should be. But because of the lack of communication, it was misconstrued and taken in a different format. And that just goes to show you how two things can be true at the same time. You can hear one thing and get two completely different messages out of it. So be careful with that when you're explaining yourself to people. Make sure you explain fully, because you can't just assume that people get your point and they understand what you're saying. That's not always the case, especially in this lifestyle. One of the things that make it so appealing is that we're making sure we're communicating very well. Everything is negotiated, everything is upfront and talked about. So um, keeping up with the spirit of that, you should be able to have these conversations wide open and make sure that everybody's clear on what's being said.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That definitely is key. So we're gonna go ahead and touch on discernment with language. Another thing D types need to remember is discernment. You might feel comfortable talking openly about punishments or play, but that doesn't mean it's the right time to bring it up.
Right, right. Yeah. Um, so with that, I say you got to understand that with some S types that are newer, they don't know all the rules or the nuances like that. So it's up to us, and I'm guilty of it myself, but it's up to us to know, okay, this is starting to go down this road where I can see like where these questions are leading. So you got to be as the dominant, you got to be able to pull yourself back from that, show restraint, pull yourself back from those sort of conversations, because there is a such thing as frenzy. Sub frenzy is when you have a submissive that just wants to do everything, wants to try everything, has no limits, no boundaries, just wants to do it. Whatever it is, they just want to do it. And we have to be able to pull back and show that restraint and say, yeah, this ain't the way this is supposed to go right now, and you're probably in a little bit of a frenzy right now, and then maybe counsel from there. But a lot of times in conversation, we get caught up with the conversation, and it takes something as small as asking, "What does a punishment look like from you?" And your answer, it might be you just really answering the question, but it could be taken again misconstrued as something else. So you got to be careful of these situations as well. The fact is, a lot of times we say things that we don't think um, we don't think people will think the worst of it, but we live in a world right now where most people mean they don't. Okay, so let me take it back a little bit because I don't want to sound like that guy. Um, I know and I'm aware that most people are good for the most part. People are good, they mean well. However it comes out, however it shows, they mean well. Sometimes people are in positions that they can't quite help, or in a position where they have to take a dive on something. You have to let people live their life, right?
Mhm.
Um, yeah, we're gonna get back to that question. I saw that somebody was in a frenzy and it was taken advantage of. But we have to be able to let people live their life. In that, you're not always going to be able to fix everybody. You're not always going to, it's not your job to fix every person that you come across because these people have their own issues that they need to work through. So you need to be able to understand that it's okay for you to back up, to walk away, or to say, I can't, this is a little bit above what I'm looking for right now. You know, there's nothing wrong with that at all. But the only way to be able to truly do that is if you're able to truly communicate and make it known, because you could do more damage than anything by backing away like that. Suddenly, you could be telling an S type that they're just not interested in you anymore, or I mean, that you're just not interested in them anymore. And that could spark something for them. You never know. So you have to be mindful of how you deal with things and make sure you do so in an open manner, communicating everything, even things that you don't think may not need communicating. Um, it probably does. People see things through their own eyes, right? Let's go back to this question. Can you read it for me?
Let's see. I only see one. Is it Nafisa? My frenzy
Yeah.
was taken advantage of. However, I know better now, so I do better. Vet, and then vet some more. Absolutely.
Right on. Yeah. I'm glad. Well, I hate that you went through that, but I'm glad you learned from it and you know now what to look for. Because it's important. It's important for your own journey. Um, just like a kid first learning how to walk, you don't just take off running right away. You're gonna fall and skin your knee a little bit, but eventually you get it, and now you know what you want. So, congratulations on that process and
Mhm.
learning yourself better as well.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. Maturity and self awareness. This one's gonna be fun.
Alrighty, I can start it off.
Maturity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So another point is maturity, and we're not talking about age. I mean
Mhm.
emotional and mental maturity. D types need to check themselves here.
Absolutely. Um, Maturity has nothing to do with age. Um, However, that said, there are some instances where it plays a major factor. Anything that's inappropriate, obviously, underage, um, S types or D types or whatever, that's always a no go. So understand that just can't happen in this community. You have to be mindful. Personally, I say ask for ID. There's nothing wrong with it. Um, don't be afraid to ask for ID because they'll tell you one thing and then really be something else. I'll give you another situation I know of. So there's this D type. I'm not going to say no names, but there's a D type that I know that was involved with an S type talking and getting to know each other. He found out that she was kind of young through conversation. In that conversation, he found out that her age was somewhat inappropriate for someone his age to be talking to. So he made the decision, over the next day or so to kind of back up off of that and kind of let that die down. But the problem was he had already been talking to this person for a while. So he didn't do one of the first things you got to do, and that's do this age check. It's important, whether you know it or not. It's really a thing out there. There's teenagers that somehow get in some of these groups and be looking for a D type. So you got to be able to know. You got to be able to know for sure that everyone's of age. Um, Now, that being said, age isn't an indicator of maturity. Just because someone's younger doesn't mean that they're not mature. You can be mature for your age, depending on different things you go through. Education is a factor, believe it or not. You have people that have gone to school for years and years and years. They're a little bit more mature than their counterparts that haven't. When you have someone that's experienced, been out in the working field for years and years, they're obviously going to have a little more experience than someone that hasn't. So with the maturity, the age, like I said, the age doesn't dictate the maturity. Um, Maturity in this is important because this isn't for play. We're gonna get back to all of those. I like y'all asking questions. Ask them all. Ask all them questions. We're gonna get back to all that.
Yes, definitely.
But yeah, maturity is important because this isn't for play. Like we dealing with people's lives here, with people's real life. People, you can make or break somebody doing this. And you don't want to hurt nobody. Not mentally, not emotionally, not physically. You don't really want to hurt anybody. Do no harm. Do no more harm. Um, that said, um, there are some that there's some people in this community. I'll go that route. I'll just make a blanket statement. There's some people in this community that actually get a kick out of drama, who get a kick out of starting stuff up, who get a kick out of being involved in some bullshit. That shows a lack of maturity. When you see that, you got to be able to recognize it, whether you're on the side that's receiving it or just know somebody that's doing it. You got to be able to peep game. That's not the type of person that you want to really be like doing anything with. Um, so just be mindful of those things out there as well. That's important. That's an important takeaway from this. If you see somebody on some bullshit, it ain't a one-off. Chances are they always on some bullshit. So be mindful of that. Be mindful, very mindful. Let's look at some questions.
Let's see. Get my phone to work. Hold on. Oh, we got quite a few. Let's see. I know Lisa has a couple questions. Lisa, did you want to come off mic and ask your question?
Sure. Yes. Thank you.
You're
It's so
welcome.
much easier. Okay. I'm a sub. I'm a brat, but I'm a Leo. So I'm very straightforward. I am very talkative. I'm very expressive. Most times I'm mad or just like want to tone me down. So in
Mhm.
that retrospect, some of them just like, well, dang, I need to train you. I don't want you asking me all the questions. I feel like or they feel like I coming on too strong. And I say, okay, it's fine. I do that. But then I feel like I'm being toned down too much as far as trying to understand the dynamic. So I'm trying to understand why I meet so many like that. And they're mature. Don't get me wrong. They've been doing it a while. They're very mature. Some of them could be understanding. But the other thing, I guess, you get at a point where you've been vetting so many subs that you kind of tired of the same routine. So you kind of want to cut it off and just get into the nitty gritty without all of the backbone, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what do you think about that? How that approach should be done? I mean, I have learned to turn down my light a little bit and not questions, but then I would get into something and realize, dang, I never did get an understanding, and then I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel heard or seen. So any outlook, any other suggestions for anybody else? I'm sure I'm not the only one that experienced that.
Definitely not. Definitely not. So the first thing I would say is this is gonna be a hard conversation to have. So I'm hoping that you're ready for this, because I'm gonna tell you the
Okay.
truth, how I feel
I'm
about it.
ready. I'm ready.
Okay. So part of being a submissive is understanding that your D type is going to try to mold you into what he needs from you, right?
Right.
So if you're a submissive, if you're going to be a submissive and you want to be in service, a lot of the time that's what service is going to look like. It's not going to look like something that you would normally do. Um, it may change. So you have to be able to understand that. All right, this is the hard part. If if you've talked to two D types, and these two D types both have told you, like, yeah, your approach is a little bit wrong, like, I need you to tone it down a little bit, that's definitely something to look at, and that's part of the self work process, where you kind of take accountability, and you sit down and you tell yourself, well, why am I like that, or why do I respond to people like that? Am I trying to take charge of the situation? Because most D types don't want to be in a situation where they're challenged, not on the regular like that. You can challenge as far as asking questions. There's nothing wrong with asking questions. I always say, if they don't want you to ask questions, it's because they don't know the answers. So there should be no problem asking questions. However, if your demeanor if your demeanor is what they're trying to change, and if you're not open to that, then that's perfectly fine too. You can walk away. That's the beauty in this. But if your demeanor is what they're trying to change by saying, look, I would like for you to be more this way, more toned down. I want your service to look this way. I want your service to look that way. Whatever it may be, then yeah, I'm gonna get to that. That was my next point I was getting to. Whatever that may look like, this is your D type trying to train you. And early on, if you're showing that you're not really willing to be trained, then, like you said, after talking to so many, D types are like, man, I'm burnt out on trying to train everybody and nobody want to listen. So, that's what it comes down to ultimately. Now, I know that there's some S types on this call right now that are fuming and ready to jump down my throat and tell me, nah, nigga, nah. You should be able to be whoever you are, whenever you want, and they should just accept. I feel that. I feel that. But we talking about the real world. We talking about the real, not what it should be. We talking about what it really is, because what it should be is hardly ever what it really is. Now, in an ideal world, you would find somebody that can take you at value, take you at what you bring right now, and say, you know what? Boom, that's what I want right there. But because of the dynamics that we set up, the DS dynamic, he's going, or she is going to want to train you, to tell you, I want you to do this differently. And you have to be open to be able to doing it differently. Or else, is that really being submissive? Is it? If you're like, if you're being told, this is what would be best, this is what I want from you, and you're saying, yeah, but I'm gonna do this.
That's true. That's not what I'm talking about in the vetting process. I haven't even gotten that far. I want to
Oh,
make sure that you're the right Dom for me. And me and being and asking the questions and getting the understanding of getting the I have ones that's ready to just take me right away without even doing the whole vetting process. I'm like, no, I'm not. I've tried that once before. I'm not ready for that. I'm a little more experienced and knowledgeable now. I literally gonna want to vet you just the same as you vetting me. So
Right.
you get some experienced and mature dimes that don't want that. They want to they already know who they are. They want you, and they figure that it's so many questions and stuff you need to ask. And it's true, they might not know the answer. That's my downfall. If you're not on that level of knowing as much as I do or knowing more than me, I really have to humble myself. I really do. I've been really working on that. Very
So then, are
intelligent.
you losing out?
And I feel that maturity, I feel that wisdom need to be more than me for me to even be able to be submissive to you. It don't even have to be the financial stuff or anything. It needs to be that intelligent level or the experience level as a dom for me to know that I can securely trust you and submit to you fully and completely, not halfway, not partial, not on a weekend, not on a Monday. I meant totally. And that's
So
really hard. That's really hard.
so
Really.
you're essentially looking for a 24/7 dynamic.
Oh yeah, I am now.
Okay, so I was gonna get to that point and say, like, if you still wanted to kind of hold on and thought that maybe 24/7 isn't for you, there's nothing wrong with kinksters. There's nothing wrong with just
I know.
playing. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah,
I
it is.
want to touch on this though, because you said something that's important. I want to touch on. You said that a lot of the D types that you talk to, they want to own you like right away. It's been a week and they talking about, look, you mine now. It's been 2 weeks and they talking about, hey, you sign. I'm gonna sign you right now and you mine. That's what. That's not even a real thing in this real world that we live in. You wouldn't even do that with a vanilla partner. You wouldn't just be like, hey, I'm with you now.
Well, some people do, Daddy. I don't know.
Well, yeah, some do, but that don't mean it's right. Just because they do, don't. And honestly,
no,
if
a lot of them that do. I'm sorry. It's a lot.
Right.
It is. It's crazy. I think it's not maturely, but I don't know. But I'm not saying that we didn't put in the time, because I have sometimes they literally would have me communicating with them 7 days a week for a whole week, day and night, just to hurry up the process, just to realize if I'm mad. And I'm like, well, dang, that's awful bad. I don't feel the same. And that's my thing is, it's hard to say that you don't actually feel the same, because then they get mad. I feel like, dang, were we both adults here? Why you getting mad and upset at me?
There you go.
So I
So
don't
that's a
mean, I'm
flag in
sorry to
itself
be
right
taking
there.
this
If
whole
you can't,
thing. I don't mean to
that's
be
a
taking
flag right there. If you can't speak your truth and have it be respected, then I mean, you ain't really losing out anyway, are you?
Yeah, I guess. No.
No. There's somebody. The thing is, a lot of times we get impatient, because we know what we have to offer, and we just like, man, why can't one of y'all just act right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to be of service. I just act right. But ultimately, like, we guys are dumb too. Like, we still men. And I'm not saying that only D types of men. I'm just saying that men are dumb sometimes. Um, so
Sometimes.
that they might not see exactly what you have to offer, but even in that case, you're not losing out. You're not losing anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just just keep doing what you do. Don't mind. Don't. You don't have to. You don't have to completely change yourself.
Right.
He's going to see you and want you for who you are,
Okay.
and that's going to be fine. Now, if that person makes you want to submit and say, okay, well, maybe I can change a couple of things about myself, then that's ideal. That's the way it's supposed to go. But off the rip, off of the first week, nobody should be telling you like, hey, I want you to change this about yourself and change this and change that. Because they don't even know anything about you enough to be able to say change anything. So
Yeah.
yeah, keep that in mind. Yeah.
That's good to hear. I know a lot of women who's going to see this, going to want to know, feel the
Yeah.
same way, going to want to hear that. Yes.
Yeah. Definitely just as an S type, just take your time and change what you can, what you feel like you want to change in your soul. But be true to yourself. So don't fake it, because they'll never work out. But somebody put in the chat also, sometimes can't tolerate brats or have the patience, which is true. So that might be a little mixture of what you're running into.
So here's how I feel about that. Brats aren't for everybody. That's why some people like brats and some people don't.
Really, sir?
We can't. I'm just saying. I'm just keeping it real. Just saying.
No, that's true. I believe that. No,
You know, brats aren't for everybody. Now, the people, the ones that they are for, they love them to death. Can't get enough. The ones that they not for, they probably had some sort of bad experience or something, and that just changed things. But I also believe that brats get a bad rap because of the level of let's talk about levels. There's levels to this shit, right? Let's talk about levels. There's a difference between a brat that says, "Hey, I didn't drink all my water today, haha," and there's a brat that says, "I ain't going to bed. Fuck you, make me." There's different levels to it, you know. Some guys can't. Some guys can't take it. Some D types, period, can't take it. Some can. I personally, I can deal with a little bit of bratting, you know, but I got way too much other things going on. I got way too many other things going on in my life. I can't afford to spend that much time wrestling with a brat that don't want to go to bed on time.
Lord. Let's see. We got some more questions. So Free just say hello. She's not sure the space rules. You're doing good, Free. Yeah, we kind of free flowing tonight, so not too heavy on the rules. Just put your questions in the chat or raise your hand, and you can come off mute when you're called.
And
Let's see.
for any of y'all that don't know, if y'all are interested at all in like the leather culture, we've got a lot of great people in the group that you can talk to about it. Free is one of those people. She has a lot of information. She's very knowledgeable. Um, she might talk to you if you ask nice, you know. So yeah, if you need information, we got plenty of people in here that know their leather history that can kind of get you up on that.
Let's see. We got some state. It's look more like statement. So D said maturity on both parts, being able to accept and give directions. Noted.
Mhm.
Jasmine said that I crave and need to be of service. Training from my dom is vital in order to be of service, them properly. When my
Right.
dom is being served in a way that satisfies them, it is so pleasurable to me. Yes, I agree with that, Jasmine. Thank you for sharing that. Venus said delusional people for sure. And YRB said that they have a question. So you can go ahead with your question now. YRB.
Good evening.
Why?
How is everyone?
Hello.
I wanted to put that up there because that's my name on Facebook, but you can call me Sugar. I'll change it in a minute. I'm still trying to get used to these Zoom spots
Okay.
and use Zoom
Hello.
since COVID. Anyway, I am new to the kink space. Extremely new. Like I've only experienced one thing. And I told him when he did it that he created a monster. But I have the one thing that I've been extremely afraid of is the fact that I'm older. So I just turned 49. So I don't have a clue as to what I need to do to start. I was being vetted by someone, and but it I'm not gonna say that it ended horribly, but it did not end the way it ended. And I'm not mad. We still communicate, but he won't be able to do what he what he said he was going to do before. So I'm sitting here now, I'm trying to figure out how do I step, try to put my foot in the water and not get my foot cut off. Cause honestly,
Mhm.
I'm so independent. I've been living here by myself for the greater part of 10 years. There have been men that lived here, but basically I have been taking care of myself for the past 10 years. I have a grown child. I don't this is not something that this is not something that I'm trying to do full time 24 hours a day, because I don't want to be dependent on somebody the whole time. But at the same time, I do want to have fun in the kink world. And to be honest with you, I would rather, and I hate to say it, but I would rather have fun in the kink world with these color people.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And
Exactly.
because I don't want to be with these color people. And I'm sorry, that does not turn me on. It doesn't, it makes it sometimes feel like I'm a fetish. And I
Hmm.
don't want to ever feel that way. So I wanted, I know I'm talking long, I apologize. But
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how to even do this. I don't, I don't, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to start. I don't want to automatic. I know that I'm not a good sub. I can honestly. My best friend who knows everything, she's like, you can't do sub. But so most of the people that I've been around have said that I'm a switch, but I don't see that either. But I really don't want to even label myself as anything at this point. I just want to I just um I have been to munches, but like I said before, Queen, the munches that I've been to been with these color people. I
Oh,
don't
you gotta
want to
get
be with
you.
these color people.
We gotta get you to
So
something with us, with our people. Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'm in Memphis, so it's not a lot of these color people
Yeah,
doing what I
it's
want to say,
not.
and
Yeah, you're gonna have to get on the
it's
plane, get in the car.
baby, it's
Come on.
bothersome. Hey, let me tell you something. I drive 4 hours. But I will drive 4 hours. As long as somebody know where I'm at, I'll drive 4 hours. But I can't. It's very hard to communicate with the ones that are willing to communicate with me because they this color, and I don't want to be used as a fetish. I have seen just from the 2 munches that I've been to, I was a fetish. I was a fetish because I'm 49 and don't look it. I'm also a fetish because I'm black. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. And I have a FetLife account, and I wish I could show y'all. But I just want to be able to I want to be able to be with other people of color and do the kink world thing with them first. Now if it flows into these color people, then I work with it, but not right now. Especially
Right.
not in this era of time. But
Right.
there's so
Trump
much
had these
going on.
folks flipping. So,
Just saying. Thank y'all for letting me talk.
so
Okay.
first, I would say thank you for even speaking and saying what you got to say. That
Yeah.
right there in first place, especially being new, being able to stand up and ask questions. That tells me that you're already on the right path. You're not afraid to ask the hard questions. So I would tell you the first thing you need to do is learn more about yourself. And what do I mean by that? I don't mean learn your kinks, learn what you like, what you don't like. I mean learn why. The why is always more important. In order to get the most from this journey, you need to figure out why. Why do you want to why do you want to be in a dynamic? Why are you looking for a dynamic? What is it that you think you can gain from a dynamic? And you got to be realistic with these things too. Um, you're not going to gain clarity from a dynamic on, I don't know, the reason why we alive, the reason why we on Earth. But it might help you get some closure on something that happened earlier in life. Um, but this is what I mean. You got to know the whys. What are you really looking for? Are you looking for structure? Are you looking for leadership? Or are you just looking for some kink? Like you said, there's nothing wrong with that either. There's bottoms. That's what bottoms do. They participate in the kink side of it with no relationship at all. So that's an avenue that you might want to go down as well. Um, but before you can get started and really learn where you're going with this, you have to start with why you're doing it in the first place. And that comes with self reflection. So, yeah, it definitely is. Queen was answering that. So, yeah, start off with that. Do some reading. Figure out like if you're submissive in the first place. You said yourself that you don't really know. You might not be. Maybe you're a switch. That's cool too. You can be a switch, be whatever you want in this lifestyle, and nobody can
Right.
take you wrong for it. So learn yourself, do some reading. Um, One of the most important things you're gonna do is try to figure out like if you're a submissive or not. You don't want to force yourself to fit into a box that somebody else is saying you should. So don't go into it looking like I'm a sub. What kind of sub am I? That's not what you're going. You want to find out, am I a sub? And then you can find out what type, what your identifier is, and all of that. But understand that you got to take steps. It's not going to come all overnight. And yeah, I mean, I'm 48 myself, so I know what it's like. You start getting a little bit older, finer, and you start feeling like, I could have been doing this for so many years, and now I'm just getting out there. So who's gonna help me? Who's gonna show me? Do you know we have Kinksters in the community as old as 70? Like for real, 70, still out there. Maybe they not, playing at parties. They might not be, doing nasty, but
They
um,
probably are. They probably are, Daddy.
they might be too, shit.
No,
Right,
don't sleep on them. Get in.
right, right. But there's
Are.
no age limit on this. You can do this as long as you want. You know, nobody's gonna ever tell you, "Hey, you too old. Your kink card is revoked." So, in the meantime, enjoy the journey. Have fun. A lot of this is not. A lot of this is not even about finding someone else. Most of this, the majority of this, is about finding yourself, finding you. That's where the real payoff comes in. When you are able to look in the mirror, know who you are, live in it, not be ashamed of it, and do it up because you only get one life,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
That's what I would at least. Anything else? Any other questions? Nothing? I know there's a lot of statements. Frozen over there?
No, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. Was there
Daddy?
any more
No,
questions?
I just saw statements. Hold on.
Yeah, read a statement.
I had a question, but
Okay.
sorry. I'm Carla. I
Hello.
Hi. I'm fairly new. It's been about a year. Um, and I guess I would identify as a S type. Some of the terms I don't know because this is all still new. I went to Vegas 2 weeks ago and was collared in a really beautiful ceremony. And I think that my question is that I find this like with a lot of things that I read, because I read a lot. Um, I find that it's almost on the opposite end of the spectrum for me because I find this very easy. Like I find submission very easy. And it's almost like, am I missing something? And I go into a rabbit hole a lot of times because I'm like this it? Like feed you? Clean it's very easy, but then I'm also like scared to add, not that I'm scared of my daddy, but I'm just like I'm also reasonable, like, do I ask and get more stuff to do? Or is it, am I missing something? Because if somebody tells you like, early on, like these are the things I like, these are the things I require, and then you do them, but it just seems very like I'm just like, am I just missing something? And for some reason, I just feel like there's a secret being held from me, from everybody in the community, that I'm just missing something because I don't struggle. And it sounds crazy, but I feel like I go down a rabbit hole and drive myself crazy trying to figure out like why, like what am I missing?
Oh,
Yeah,
Carla, we need to talk.
yeah.
I'm the
So,
same way. Like, yeah, everything that's a little bit hard for me is not anything to do with submission. It's just everything that comes with my world. But yes, what I required to do for my sir, it's easy, and I add stuff on. Like, I just, yeah, I'm naturally submissive, and it sounds like you are too. So what your sir needs lines up to your natural capability. So you just like, this is a little bit too easy. Well, you met me, so I'm like you. So definitely on the chat, side chat.
so what I'm hearing, Summer, is you need more tabs. Is what I'm hearing.
Well, that is when I'm not baking. I can say, I'm a big girl. I
All
can
right.
say,
All right. So here's the thing. First off, I would say don't overthink it. There's no big secret that you're not in on. Some people just naturally take to it better. Some people are natural born swimmers. Some people have to be taught. That's all it is.
yeah,
However, if you feel like you need a little bit more, you can ask for it in a respectful way. Um, you can ask for what you need, and you'll more than likely get it. It's all about communication. That's what I was talking about earlier. If you can't communicate, you're always going to be feeling unfulfilled. But you're on this journey already. So why not do it the right way and really enjoy it? By doing that, you're giving yourself a gift. You're treating yourself to something special because a true a good DS dynamic is very, very, very fulfilling if it's done correctly. And part of that is communication. So I would say speak up, ask, talk, mention, maybe I could do something else. Starting to task yourself, I mean, you could, but that's a slippery slope. So I would more than likely say, talk to your D type, let them know that you you would like more tasks, more ways to show your submission, more ways to show your dedication um, or your commitment. It's wordplay, you know how it is.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, that's what I would say. But my wheels is already turning. Is it
for me,
truly fulfilling with it being so
and
natural?
congratulations, Carla. By the way, I didn't say that. That's so exciting.
Yeah. Um, go to the next question.
Let's see. What do we have in here? Um, let's see. Congratulations. We did sugar. Yeah, the last thing was from Lisa, just saying it's fulfilling with it being so natural and easy. Not every DS relationship is the same. Um, okay. Did we Sugar said, all right, here we go. I came from the swinger community. I am a unicorn there. I recently switched over to solo poly, but I refuse to believe that I am to travel the kink or poly world alone. Sugar, did you want to speak?
I spoke already.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
that was you.
I was
Okay,
gonna say, was it the
I'm
same
just
sugar that
reading
was
her
just
like
on?
I know I saw. Yeah. So no, we don't. Let's see. I have Stephanie. Hey, Stephanie. Stephanie said that she was speaking to a D type, and he was of the belief that you should wait for a D type to find you instead of you seeking one out. How do you feel about that way of thinking?
So all right. Personally, I like protocol. I like when a submissive shows that they know protocol. So for me, there's value that I would place on an S type that was able to submit a petition for service. If you don't know what that is, it's basically just you're basically just writing saying, I feel like I could serve your house. This is how. Um, just basically, it's shooting your shot. But there is a format for it, and we do have a course on that. I'll get to that later, but we also gonna publish a PDF for that as well. But so that's me personally. That takes an S type shooting their shot. That takes an S type actually going through the motions and getting to know you, doing research, finding out about your house members. It actually takes some work going into it. So I personally put value on that. However, that's just me, and you don't have to do that. Um, some D types they don't want you to come to them. They would rather go to you. Here's the danger in that. That this is personally just my own personal feelings. Um, you can only go, you can only try to talk to so many S types before you start coming across as that guy that's just trying to holler at anybody and everybody, you know. Um, that becomes a problem. So if y'all don't know, for y'all S types out there, if y'all wondering how come the D types ain't just, you know, trying to jump in my inbox and they not doing all this, is because we run a risk as well. There's a lot of judgment out there. So if you're looking for an S type, um, and you talk to one, it doesn't work out, and then you talk to somebody else and it doesn't work out, rule of thumb, I always say you don't have to wait a minute before you talk to anybody else, because if you talk to somebody right behind that, then it's looking like you're just, you know, out there searching and searching and searching. So a lot of D types move based on that same belief. So a lot of them aren't too eager to just jump out there and, hey girl, what's your name? Where you from? All this good stuff, you know. Um, wherein lies the problem? This is the issue. Um, who is going to take the first step? Because if the D types are saying, you know, they're a little scared too because they don't want to be labeled and all that. They don't want to have this name they gotta live with in the community. And the S types are naturally submissive, so they're like, I want my man to come and get me. I want my D type to come get me, see me and say you want me. I feel that too. Um, there's got to be a middle ground. There's got to be a middle ground somewhere, and I believe that people that want something, they're not afraid to go out and get it. That's why I can appreciate the petition. If you can't step out on a limb and go for what you want, then chances are we ain't gonna vibe anyway, because I go for it. Personally, me, my dynamic. I go for it. Whatever it is, I go for it. So I like that match that energy, you know. Um, So it's a like I was getting at. It's a slippery slope. It's a toss up because you run a risk either way. I would say if you're serious about this, your journey doesn't have to be like everyone else's. You can do whatever you want. If you see somebody that you want to talk to and you want to shoot your shot, there ain't nothing wrong with that. Do what you do. Um, at the same time, understand though that some D type might not react to that in the way you think. Because they want to be more of the hunter. You know, I hate to use the word predator, but I mean, prey. Where we start talking about predator and prey. When you see a lion, you know the lion wants to attack the gazelle. If the gazelle come and just lay itself down in front of the lion, like, hey, that's not, you know, it don't hit the same. So it all comes down to your own personal style and where you want to go with the dynamic. Now, there are also ways to make yourself known, make it known that you're available, perhaps, without, you know, going all the way left and without shooting your shot like that. Um, there's different ways that you can do that. So I say all that to say it's it's your own personal preference. But I would say get to know the D type that you're targeting, which sounds predator-ish, but I just couldn't think of another word to say.
A
Um,
little soft hurt. Yeah, definitely that.
yeah, but you know, get to know the D type that you're looking at, and figure out what makes them tick, and go based off of that. So yeah, Do what you do. I hope I answered. I don't know. I started rambling there for a
Thank
second.
you. Yeah, you did. Yeah, both y'all did. Yeah, that's
Oh,
good.
okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Queen said she had something she wanted to say.
Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Hey.
Good, good.
I'm not sure of the names, but the one that was talking about finding your D type, being too loud, too bratty, all of that. It takes a special D type to wrangle a brat. Um, like Lorenzo said, some just don't want to deal with brats, but it depends on like the type of brat that you are, because bratting comes in so many different forms. Just like as a submissive, we're all different. Any in dynamics, we're all different. The dynamics looks different. So it's all in how you approach the dominance. If you're not allowed to actually ask questions, how do you get to vet someone if you don't get to ask questions? I know that I am an Aries, I am extroverted, and I'm vocal, but there are certain times that my dominant tells me I need to simmer down. I need to lower my voice. I need to, pick and choose which ways and times that I need to ask those type of questions and how I'm actually asking those questions. Am I asking the questions aggressively? Am I asking the questions as a submissive? Am I asking them voluntarily? Like, it depends on how we're actually speaking to the dominance, where we can, if you are a vocal person, it can come off aggressive when you're just actually just being yourself. So as a brat myself, I can only brat a certain amount of time before my dominant is like, all right, you have done enough. But I know now with him how much I can actually brat. And my bratting is not aggressive. She's fun, she's feisty, she's sassy, she's sexy and seductive. So it depends on our approach with how we speak as a submissive, because I don't think it's just the questioning. I think it's actually how we're asking questions. When you are a vocal person, it's how and when we ask the questions. And then for the other person, that was talking about her age. Child, age don't have nothing to do with BDSM and kink. I will tell you that right now. People just want to be their best selves, live their best lives, and get what they need. Um, yeah, you can just kink for fun. If that's what you want to do, please just do that and have your fun. And then go into the groups that BDSM Elite have. They have so many different DM groups. You can find your way, find yourself, find the education, find the books. That way you can just find yourself, and then whatever you want to look for, you got it. You can figure it out yourself, and that way you can flow in this lifestyle, however it works for you. That's all I got.
All right.
Thank you.
Right. All right. She felt strongly about that. Did y'all hear that? Speaking with some
Listen,
conviction
I
behind it.
am definitely a brat. I mean, but again, I know that brats get a bad rep, but it depends on who you are and what you stand for when you're bratting. It depends on what you need, what you like, and what you want. I am allowed to brat. That's my personality. And for somebody to take it away from you because that's who you are, that's one of the greatest things about this lifestyle is you can be whoever you want to be, but it takes the right person to go and flow with you. And if they're not the right person, then that is okay. My sire does allow me to brat. I am also a little middle, so my bratting comes with all of that stuff, and then he can be aggressive with me and I'll go and regress and go right into little mode. So it just depends on the person that you're looking for. But no one should not be okay with actually you being yourself and asking questions. Either they want to be a part of your journey or they don't.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Stacy just said something.
She said she downloaded a book last night called Lessons in Submissive Speech. Yep, heard of that one. in an effort to learn how to speak a bit softer.
Right. Summer, if you remember when we first started, the first book I gave you to read was Submissive Speech. You remember that?
I got it. I still got it on my nightstand. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a really good book. It teaches you a lot about softening your tone, softening your edges a little bit. So if that's something you're interested in, and because it's hard, honestly, a lot of submissives in their day-to-day life, they bosses, so they got to learn how to kind of soften it up a little bit because they use barking out orders like, "Yo, where's the email at?" You know, fucking, where's the fucking checklist? Where's that marketing report? All that shit, So when they get home and they want to unwind, sometimes they got to unlearn that behavior. So as D types, if there's other D types on here, just you got to give them a little bit of grace. It's hard for bosses to turn it off all the time. And if you're a boss yourself, then you understand.
Definitely.
All right. Oh man, we went over time. We went over tonight. See, y'all get me talking, rambling and stuff.
Well, we started kind of too, so not too bad.
Right. Okay. Is there any other questions? Nothing?
I don't see anything. Lisa
I
said
do
thanks.
want to say, I do want to thank y'all for this because to say that I have had a good experience doing the poly and learning the BDSM and the king things would be a stretch. I have seriously, like, I broke down and cried last week simply because of some silly shit. But I really want to thank y'all for this space and I appreciate it.
No, you're welcome. Definitely come back. We do it every Tuesday and, get active in some of the chats. We got quite a few.
How do you
Yeah, we got a lot of
how do you join the chat?
Go to the group and let's see Lisa, I'm seeing your name. I can tag you to the post. But if you go in the group and like in the search, put in chats, there's a whole post list of links, and then you can join. Some of them you just have to wait to get in. Mine is one. I'll let you in some when I get
I know. I think you said you got to fill out some information to get into as well. I think.
Oh no information. As long as you made the intro, as long as you made your intro and your welcome post, like introduce yourself to the group.
Actually, he didn't welcome me yet. I came in right after he did the welcome, so I'm still waiting on my welcome. I refuse to do it without my welcome. I want my welcome. Then I went and do myself. I don't want to do it on a different welcome post.
See?
Find which one.
I know that sounds terrible. No.
See?
I'm waiting for you to do the next welcome post. You just did it like 2 hours before you included me in. I want to feel special. So please make me feel special.
I'm gonna make sure I make a special one just for you.
Okay.
Summer, can you find me? Is your name Summer on the group? Please.
Yep, Summer Night.
Okay.
Okay. Yep. Send me a friend request.
Mm-hmm.
They got the bios in there, which is really nice to read.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I can't tell you how to get to it. The young lady that asked. I was just scanning the app.
I think they're all pinned at the top. If you go to the group at the top of the page, you'll see all the features and stuff. It should be pinned. I think me and my sister wife Sheba, I think we pinned ours. I don't think yours. Yeah. They just gotta find you by your name, but you all everywhere, so they see you. But
yeah,
you see ours.
I tend to talk a lot on these, so all you got to do is watch a couple of these, and you'll get to know me pretty well.
But yeah, I also went to YouTube and with that follow. I mean, I follow. What did you do? What is that called when you go to YouTube? What's it called? Yeah, I subscribe. So yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just got to make sure that my grandson doesn't go into my YouTube.
Oh, they good though. It's okay. Yeah,
It,
my hair
it
cuss
ain't
words.
nothing crazy.
No,
We
I
try to we try to keep it real, like, mid. So if anybody watches it, they won't get freaked out or nothing. So that's
oh,
part of the
okay.
problem in the mainstream society. Whenever they hear about BDSM, it automatically goes to sex. They automatically start thinking about whips, chains, sex, and all that. So we trying to change that a little bit by like giving them
Yeah.
something different to think about.
Yeah, 50
And
Shades didn't help. That did not help at all. That made it
not
No,
at
worse.
all, not at
But
all.
some YouTube BSM do go into a lot of the different stuff
Yeah.
on YouTube. They do. So
Yeah. But so if y'all don't know what we're talking about our YouTube channel, Try Dynasty TV. That's TRIDYNASTY TV. Like, subscribe. I think I spelled it right now. Like, subscribe.
it's
So
been a
you can see all of our videos that we post. We do this once a week. So these always get posted. We have other shows that we do, Throne Room. We have town halls where we just kind of chit chat or whatever. Those go up there as well. And also, of course, I got to do my shameless plug for the Academy. I know we got to be completely online BDSM Academy. Go check us out, www.triskellionsacademy.com. Someone's going to put it in the chat so y'all can go ahead and take a look at it. There's a free novice course where you can learn definitions, acronyms, all that good stuff, as well as looking at our YouTube channel on Triskelion Dynasty TV. We have an orientation course for newbies that basically just teaches baseline stuff, just stuff so you know what you're talking about when you asking questions. So yeah, give us a minute, check it out. If you like it, subscribe, like it, share it. Go to the website, enroll in that novice course. It's a free course. You get a certificate when it's all said and done, so you can show it to everybody and say, "Yo, I took this course. I know my shit now. At least I know my shit now." So you want to be, yeah. So I'm gonna let y'all go. I really appreciate everybody coming in, but before y'all go, y'all gotta hear. I got another joke for y'all. Y'all ready for the joke?
Wait. Hold on. Someone just asked a question. Mario asked a
Oh,
question. So I didn't want
okay.
that to be missed before you closed out.
All right.
So you may want to answer him late. I don't know, but I didn't want that to get missed.
Yep. Sorry, Mario. I missed you. I apologize. Did you want to go ahead and answer a question?
Yo, Mario.
Yeah, so I didn't want to interrupt the flow, but my question is more geared towards Queen. She spoke a little bit last Tuesday, about her dynamic and how she got into BDSM with her sir. So I was particularly interested in that. We're in a similar situation here, but I didn't want to hold up anything. If I can ask that offline, I don't mind doing that too, but I didn't know how to approach that.
Right. I think she actually just got disconnected from the chat. Yeah, I thought I saw that.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I know you probably got questions, like I'm sure Andrell won't have a problem, the principal won't have a problem with, y'all talking. So I know him personally, so I'll get with him and we'll reach out and so we could all get on, because I gotta holler at you too. I've been peeping you, man. I appreciate all your support with everything we doing here, man.
Thank you.
All right. So y'all ready for this joke? How come oysters never give to charity? Because they're shellfish. They're shellfish.
Daddy.
They're shellfish. Because they're clams and they're closed and they're shellfish. Damn, somebody left when I told my joke. That wasn't even.
Did my thumbs down show up? I'm gonna send it again.
Did I get a thumbs down? Somebody
me.
gave me a thumbs
That's
down.
me. I wish I had more hands.
Hey, y'all. Welcome to my world.
Thumbs down. All right, y'all. Hey, I appreciate y'all spending some time with us this evening.
Thank
We'll be back next week. Come on back through. See, Stephanie likes the dad jokes. Y'all come back next week. I appreciate y'all spending y'all evening with us. Have a good evening.
Yeah.
Fortiori
Thank
una.
you. Yeah.
I tell good jokes, damn it. Hang up.